Clara. We had a hard time getting food," explained the captain. "However, if I had known the trouble this hat would cause me, I wouldn't have stopped. Why, I almost lost my life, and it's strange I didn't. Every time I think of it, I wonder more and more about my foolishness." "What happened, Father?" asked Clara. "I should have known that the other warriors would be roving about the forest. I should have gone on with my company." "What happened next, Father? What did you do?" Clara asked impatiently. She could hardly wait any longer for his answer. "I looked for my hat, of course. Pretty soon I saw it on a briar bush. This bush was on the other side of the briar patch, so I had to push through the whole field." "Didn't the little thorns scratch you?" "They scratched every inch of skin they could find, my dear. But I finally had my hat. I was afraid the thorns had torn the felt. I held up the hat to examine it. Then came my third surprise. Someone shot a bullet through the crown." "While you were holding up the hat?" "Yes, indeed. A warrior thought it was on my head. I dropped to the ground at once because I wanted him to think he had killed me." "The warrior didn't find you, did he?" "I knew he'd look for me, and I knew other warriors would be with him. I was afraid that they would surround the briar patch, and they would have no trouble capturing me. I decided to get out of that trap fast." "Did you get out, Father?" the child asked. "I must have, Clara. I wouldn't be here with you tonight if I hadn't." He smiled and patted her head. Then he continued the story. "You may be sure I didn't show my head again. I began to crawl out of the patch." "What did you do with your hat?" "It was on my head, and it saved my face from the briars. Large hats are better than caps at times, and this was one of the times. Well, I was careful. I crawled as quietly as I could, but those Indians heard me. Their ears are as sharp as razors, you know." "Can they cut things with their ears?" asked Clara eagerly. "Oh, no, it's only a saying," her father replied. "Now, just as I expected, the warriors began to shoot into the patch." "Then they didn't think you were dead," Clara exclaimed. "You didn't fool them." "They wanted to finish me if I wasn't. Just then I heard the whine of bullets, but not near, thank goodness. They didn't know just where I was, so I was safe for a time. As soon as I was out of the patch and in a clear space, I stood up and ran as fast as I could." "And you did get away from them, didn't you, Father?" asked Clara expectantly. "Not yet, Clara. My troubles weren't over by a good deal. Soon I heard the sound of running feet behind me." "Oh, dear! They heard you." I stopped a moment and listened. There was only one person running. He wasn't making any attempt to run quietly either. He was so sure he would overtake me, he didn't have to be careful. To tell the truth, I thought he would myself. I knew I couldn't outrun an Indian warrior. However, if I could reach the river before he did, I'd have a chance to escape." "Did you do it, Father?" "I knew a trick I could play on him. I used all the strength I had. I made it to the bank of the river first." "I'm so glad!" cried Clara. There was no time to lose. I had to play my trick at once. I picked up a large stone, and I threw it out into the water, but not very far. I wanted to make ripples so he would think that I had dived off the high bank. Clara laughed. "You fooled him, didn't you?" "Wait a minute, child. It isn't easy to fool an Indian warrior. All I could do was to hope I had. The bank was covered with trees, bushes, and vines clear down to the river. Although it was a jungle, I got through, and hid under a big mass of vines at the bottom." "Did you have to stay there long?" "I didn't have to wait long. The Indian came in a few minutes." "Did he see you?" asked Clara breathlessly. "I could see him on the bank above me. I was afraid he would hear me breathing." "My goodness! Did he hear you?" "He didn't take time to listen. He began to shoot at the ripples right away. After a while he stopped and grunted. Then I knew the shooting was all over." "Because he grunted?" "Because he grunted in a certain way, the way Indians grunt when they are pleased. I knew exactly what he was thinking," the captain said. Was it something funny? Well, it hardly seemed funny to me. He was thinking there was now one less white man that he had to fight. But it wasn't true, was it? Indeed it wasn't. It didn't take me long to find my company. In a short time I was helping them drive the warriors back from the river. Didn't any of them get across the river? We didn't give them any chance to get their canoes. Before we stopped, we drove them away from the forest. I wish I had been one of your soldiers. I wish you had, Clara. You would have made a good one. You would have warned me when the warriors were coming. Me? Tell you? How would I know? They would be wearing moccasins so they wouldn't make any noise. How would I hear them? You'd hear them. Aren't your little ears as sharp as razors? Ha ha, laughed Clara. Now it was her bedtime. She said good night to her father, then she climbed the stairs to the big room she shared with her two sisters.